Your spine straight. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in. Hold it there. Oh. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Yo Antah Pravishya Mama Vachamimam Prasuptam Sanjeevayatyakhila Shakti Dharasvadhamna अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् समचरण सरोज सान्द्र नीलाम्बुदाभम् जघन निहित पाणिम् मण्डनम् मण्डनानाम् तरुण तुलसी माला गन्धरं कञ्जनेत्रं सदय धवलहासं विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि. Pranams to the Lord. Pranams to all the Mahatmas in tonight's Eknathi Bhagawat session. We are going to complete his life story as told by Sant Maharajji, and it's the most exciting day. We are going to start on today's day, enter the Bhagavad and read the first few OVs of what Maharajji has told. And I'm so sure that it will enrapture all of us within the first few OVs itself. So let's complete his life story. We have completed till then Bhavartha Ramayana. This we are going to start now. So we have seen the story about his son, about how the 1,000 Brahmins feeding happened just by feeding Sant Eknath. We saw such miracles in his life, and now we are going into Bhavartha Ramayana. There is a belief that the river Godavari used to visit in person to listen to discourses of Eknath. Even now, a seat is reserved for the river Godavari when Purana discourses are managed. Goosebumps, no? Eknath was composing Ramayana in OV form, and he was also reading aloud and explaining it to listeners in the temple. He was of advanced age by now. A woman had her, a woman had sent her dull son by name Gauba to the house of Eknath, where she promised he would get Puran Poli. Puran Poli is a Maharashtrian delicacy, a delicate round bread stuffed with sweetened paste of gram and pulse. Where in South India they call Poli, the sweetened one. Eknath told him, "You will, of course, receive what you want, but you must listen daily to Ramayana." Gauba began to listen to Ramayana daily. The poetry was completed by Eknath to 44th chapter of Yuddha Kanda, volume about the great battle of Ram and Ravan. Eknath one day declared to the listeners, "I am now going to leave you. The call of God is received." The listeners felt very sorry. They asked, "Who will complete the poetry of Ramayana?" Eknath said, "Gauba will complete this Ramayana." He called Gauba near and put his own hand palm on his head as a blessing. Gauba prostrated before Eknath and from that day began to speak OVs for the listeners. They felt that Eknath himself is talking to the voice of Gauba. The remaining epic poetry was completed by Gauba. Departure of Eknath. On the fifth day of second fortnight of Falgun, Eknath found himself very indisposed. He fainted. People thought in their mind whether Eknath will die like other ordinary men. Eknath understood this thought without being asked. He said to his servant Uddhava, "Tomorrow is the sixth day. I'm going to die by entering the waters of Godavari river by way of trance." Thus, all knew now why that day was very significant, as told earlier by Eknath. On the second day, that is the sixth day of the second fortnight of Phalgun, Shaka 1521, procession called Dindi started, and all people in that procession reached the river Godavari. Eknath did the last performance of Kirtan in his life on the sands of Godavari. People asked him, "When will you come again?" At that time, Eknath spoke to them in poetic form of Abhanga. He told them in that Abhanga, when the path of religion is not followed, when non-religiousness increases, then we come down in this world. When there are many heretics with their selfish deeds abound in the world, we would destroy their faith with the weapon of worship of Hari. That Abhanga contained some such messages. Eknath entered in the stream of the river and left his body on the place called Krishna Kamala to the mercy of the speedy flows of waters. After, when his mortal body came to the surface of water, Hari Pandit, his son, performed the last rites by funeral fire. A structure, Samadhi, was constructed there in memory of Eknath. Among the five great saints of Maharashtra, Eknath is reckoned with great respect. It was he who prepared a correct manuscript of Jnaneshwari. In addition to Bhagavata, Eknath has written many other books in Marathi OV form. His Bharud style is very popular among dramatists of folklore. His Bhavartha Ramayana, Rukmini Swayamvar, and Bharud and Abhangas are very popular even in this 22nd century. So the sense, Gaisas ji's little intro to us about Maharajji, and I hope we have built one small relationship with him, imagining how it would be and how everything, like the last story was absolutely a goosebump story where his Ramayana is completed by Gauba. Now, with his grace, invoking Panduranga Rukmini's grace, Krishna's grace, that we start the Bhagavad on today's auspicious day. Shri Eknath Bhagawat, English translation of Marathi commentary by Sant Eknath on the 11th Skanda of Srimad Bhagavad Puran. Chapter 1. Om. Salutations to Shri Ganesh. Salutations to Goddess Saraswati. Salutations to Shri Guru. Salutations to Shri Dattatreya. Salutations to the divine Rukmini and Panduranga. Point 1. Om. My salutations to respected Shri Janardana, the Guru of Shri Eknath, identified with Lord Ganesh. In your being, there is no concept of beginning or end. By discarding the duality of I and you, I bow before your feet in the state of unity. Point 2. O Shri Ekadanta Gajanana, I also bow to you. In the present, you are making manifest the multiplicity in unity, yet you are not disturbing the unity, Advaita, non-duality. Point 3. You are called Lambodara, having a big belly, because within you the whole world, both moving and stationary, exists, and therefore you are really the nearest relative of all beings. Point number 4. The family life of the man who gets your auspicious glimpse becomes happy, and therefore the name Vignaharta is becoming you very aptly. Number 5. O Ganaraja, the king of Ganas, your face is joy itself. All the four accomplishments of human life are your face, arms, and your tooth, which shines, gives light to the luminous bodies, stars, planets, etc. Point number 6. The Vedas and the Upanishads, which are respectively the primary doctrine and the secondary doctrine called Purva Mimamsa and the Uttar Mimamsa, are attached with love to both of your ears and all the four kinds of speech, the soundless para, pashyanti, madhyama, and vaikhari, are standing with folded hands in your mouth. They are at your command. Number 7. O Vinayaka, your vision is such that by its power, the whole world is seen as Atman and is divine and gives happiness and contentment. Point number 8. Your belly is big, which is full of joy. There is joy also in the navel and the girdle around your middle, which is called Nagabandha, is enhancing your beauty. Point number 9. You are wearing the white cloth of Shuddha Sattva, pure piety, and the golden ornaments on your body are appearing beautiful because of the beauty of your own body. Point number 10. Prakriti and Purusha, the female and the male principles, are your 2 feet. You have pressed them down under your body and seated in natural, easy posture. You are very graceful in your completeness. Point number 11. If even for a moment we have the fortune to look at you, calamity is not found, though we hunt for it. This is because of the spade in your hand, which destroys the bondage of worldly life. Point number 12. You pull by a cricket goad such devotee, Ankush, goad, who is very dear to you, and freeing him from the disaster of worldly life, keep him safe with you. Point number 13. By giving the sweet modaka, which is joy itself, to your devotee who is really desireless, you give him really ecstasy of divine joy. 14. You are easily established in the smallest object, and therefore the adjective mouse rider is very properly fitting for you. 15. If we observe carefully, you are neither man nor elephant. Thus, you are beyond the visible and invisible. Knowing you to be beyond any modification, vikara, I most respectfully salute you so that you may help me in writing this book completely. 16. First of all, who is the me? Who is bowing before such Gajanana? Who, though a non-doer, has become the expander of the story of this book? Number 17. Now I will bow before Goddess Saraswati. Now I will bow before the Goddess Saraswati, who is the very image of the power of discrimination between the essential and unessential, and who inspires the tendency of all the sense organs. 18. She is teacher of speech, the illuminator of intelligence, and the giver of light to the light, herself being self-illuminant. 19. She is the inherent power in the body of Lord Shiv, just like vision in the eyes or the juice in the fruit. 20. Similarly, her relationship with Lord Shiv is beyond logic and without beginning. Just as there is sweetness in sugar and fragrance in flower. 21. The sweetness of the Atman is infused in the 4 kinds of speech with all its greatness, and therefore the goddess Saraswati, who is a presiding deity of speech, makes it possible for the reader to experience the good taste of the meaning of the book. 22. In the world, there are men of wisdom who are really the swans, dividing the essential and the unessential. And on the back of such swarm, this deity rides in an uncanny, unimaginable posture, which appears to be very relaxed at the same time. 23. Those who have attained the high rank of Hamsa can really understand the nature of this goddess who is riding on the Paramahamsa. But those who are stupid, dull, unlucky cannot even see her, though she is very near. Hamsa is yogi who has gone up on the ladder of the path of Nivritti, withdrawal, 4 rungs of initiations, and Paramahamsa is the master yogi who has escaped the chain of births and deaths and is fully liberated. The word stupid is used here for ordinary people who are bound by desires. 24. If we try to understand her character or her nature, she is without form, but at the same time, the whole universe is her form, and it is like she who makes articulate the exquisite content of the books like this Bhagavata. 25. When we say these are good words, we use words only. Similarly, when we praise this goddess of speech, we use speech only. This is like a praise of the speech by the speech. 26. That great goddess, who is of the nature of the playfulness of speech, who is beautiful in all respects, dwells within me as also outside me, and makes it possible for me to tell equally beautiful meaning of this book. 27. She is always pleased, as is her very nature to be happy, and therefore the commentary has become colorful. But she has taken extreme care that I will not be proud of being the speaker. 28. Here the goddess of speech is praised, no speech only, and therefore there is no scope for duality to enter in my mind. 29. She has destroyed the speech, the act of speaking, broken completely the silence of muteness, but she has brought into expression the commentary in such a way that she has made articulate that which cannot be put into words. Number 30. When I set about to bow before such goddess Saraswati by separating myself from her, the sense of I-ness, together with the Paravani, the voice of silence, the abstract aspect of the origin of speech, disappeared. 31. Where there is the absence of I-ness, where is the scope of the sense of you? Even then, somehow, she is feeling the great blessing in the argument concerning the subject matter. 32. Just as there are waves and waves of water arising continuously on the sea, here on the reality itself, the words which are also of the nature of reality are arising like waves. 33. Just as the grains of sugar are not different in sweetness, the words of commentary, being impregnated with the juice of Brahman, are also not separate from that juice. 34. Where, as the sense of joy of Brahman has put together both the sense of I and the goddess Saraswati in one single plate wonderfully enough, the serpent Shesha has given a belch of satisfaction, who is himself the state of non-duality, and thus only the words of the whole story are being expressed through that state. 35. Now we shall bow to the saints who, like the clouds of inward joy, pour that joy on the people who are harassed by the problems of life and thus make them full and happy. Hari Om, everyone. We have a short by about few minutes, 3-4 minutes. I think we should pause over here for today. Any thoughts anybody would like to express? Any thoughts? We have seen first 35 points.
This 34th, I did not understand, Varshaji. Sense of joy of Brahman has put together.
There.
I and
Where the separations are. So there, as the sense of joy of Brahman has put together both the sense of I and goddess Saraswati in one single plate, wonderfully enough, the serpent Sesha has given a belch of satisfaction, who is himself the state of non-duality, and thus only the words of the whole story are being expressed through that state. What we have to understand over here is Maharajji is not taking any credit. He is writing it. But the way he has begun to explain the whole thing and he is invoking each time the blessings, in this particular point, he is talking about there is no bound of separation. He's talking that though he's writing, where is the separation that he's writing? He's giving all the credits to Ma Saraswati only, who is the embodiment of the speech. And because of her only, things are happening. And we all know where did that point go? Yeah. So we all know that in the state of bliss, that this is my bliss and this is your bliss will not be there. There is everything that is oneness. So now only I'll have to get a reference for one aspect of it. The Sheshanaga on whom everything is rested. So he is there. The position of the Sheshanaga is on him, everything is resting. So when everything is at peace, it is like a belch of satisfaction, means the whole thing is so very blissful that he's mere a witness. He's not any of the doer, nor he is the thing. But otherwise, we have the whole universe is built on him. So there is no such a separation that is happening. But I will refer Marathi also, and I'll come back with more point on this point number 34. If we can put more light, we can see on 34. Okay. Any more thoughts anybody want to express on 34? Many times when chanting happens, no, for us at our level, we say, that he has chanted well, I have chanted well, or I made a mistake. Our doership of any of our work doesn't go that easily. Here at the onset itself, Maharajji's doership is only not existing. Here Maharajji is attributing. Now today we have seen two gods that he has bowed down to. Ganesha, how beautifully he has spoken on Ganesha, and Mata Saraswati is going to come to saints as well. So what he's trying to say that he's already in that state of non-duality, and that's why it is getting expressed. It is not because it is of his credibility. So at the starting itself is like this, and the way he's so lucid. So these are all Marathi one lines, the OVs. That's why these points. So many OVs he has just created for those lords, and which we are reading in English as points. Amazing. But I'm going to see this more, and we can come. And anybody has any other thoughts? I just loved his surrender to each god, and for every god's one aspect, how beautifully he has brought out that beauty for Ganesha. And so amazing. It's like that surrender is amazing. Means it's something indescribable, and he's bringing out that God's speciality so very easily. So we are grateful. Thank you, Pushpaji, for asking for the point number 34. We'll dig into more and we'll come back. Okay. Any more? Anybody has to say anything
I
more?
wanted to tell here, Varshaji, just like in Tulsi Ramayan and Ramcharit Manas also, I think the same bhav is also expressed by Tulsi Das ji. One more point is that just like Eknath ji, to hear Eknath ji, Godavari comes over that. Similarly, to hear Ramayana, Hanuman, there is a separate place or a separate this one kept in this one. When they do this Ramayana or Hanuman Chalisa, they keep a separate place, and they think that rather they have that particular faith that Hanuman is coming and listening to them. So that is one thing which I just wanted to bring it out.
So nice. So nice, Venkatesh. Lovely points. I think all saints at that level are same only and one only. They've taken different forms and different states in the sense of the political, geographical states, Maharashtra or Tamil or UP or whatever, and names are different. So that locally things are expressed and brought out to simple people. It's a great start. So we pause over here at point number 35. And now our next session is going to be on Monday. So we have got about Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to ponder on these 35 points, ponder on the 34th point especially, and return and continue the rest of the chapter. And it's slowly picking up that sugar, that sweetness. It's beautiful. And it's just a nectarine to read. And we are so happy that it's brought in English. So we are going to directly taste the honey.
But Varshaji, I just had one small, request. See, we all say OV, OV, and all. We hear it could be in some meter. We have never heard it. Similarly, the Abhangas, I think they are also chanted in a different way. That Marathi related thing, maybe one or two OVs probably somebody can chant, so that feel we will get, and that will increase the bhav is what I was just thinking it aloud.
Okay. So what today what we have read, no? The Marathi OV on the first point. Om Namo Janardana, Nahi Bhava Bhava Bhavana, Na Dekho Nimi Tupana, Namana Shri Charana Sadguru Raya, Namana Shri Ekadanta, Ekapane Tuchiyata, Ekida Visi Anekata, Kari Ekatmata Namode, Tujama Jiva Suchara Mhanoni Bolije Lambodara, Yalagi Sakalansa Soyara, साचोकारा तू होसी तुझ देखे जो नरू प्यासी सुखाचा होय संसारू या लागी विघ्न हरू नामात गुरु तुझ साजे हरुषते वदन गणराजा चाही पुरुषार्थ त्याची चाही भुजा प्रकाशिया अप्रकाशी भोजा तो झळकत तुझा निज दंतो तो सांगतस.
So nice, man. So nice. It is actually like
Very beautiful.
Tulsi Das ji had told this chaupais, I think in that Awadhi language. I think it is the same way in Marathi language. So simple
Exactly.
to.
Yes, exactly. And how our language is similar to Hindi, but not exactly Hindi. Like that, the OV is similar to Marathi, but that Marathi is little different. So you will have to, uh, you know, get somebody explain to you some words. And it's very cute. It's tiny words, maybe 4 words in a line, like that. 4 words, literally in 4 words in that. Sometimes even 2 words in that one line. It's like that. Very beautiful it is.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you,
Yes,
Venkatesh.
thank you.
Okay, so with this session, let us end. And we have got now 35 points to reflect over next 3 days and return back on Monday very eagerly to drink this sweetness. Let's end our session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Hari Om, everyone. See you all on Monday.
Very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hari Om.
Very much.
Thank you, sir.